we're on the reef framework in southern Tarawa. The tide is out enough here on the ocean side that there's rock to walk along. If the tide was in all the way and it was a particularly high tide, most of this I'm standing on here would be underwater. So you can get a sense of, even on the ridge that you tend to have on the ocean side where things are a little bit higher, that homes are still reasonably close to sea level. And if the sea level were to go up, we're going to have trouble. Now, 1 meter of sea level rise doesn't mean loss of all land that's 1 meter above the ocean. Atolls and coral reef islands are dynamic. They change, grow and shrink and evolve over time. Now, one of the common misconceptions is that the reef that the island is built on is actually growing itself because it's made of corals. No, the corals that made up this rock are long dead, right? So this is an ancient, thousands of year old reef framework. The island that's built on top of it is just made of gravel and sand and things that collected over the years on top of the reef framework. You know, and eventually some coconuts drifted ashore, some seeds blew ashore, and you ended up with an island covered in vegetation. Now, as the sea level changes, we have to look at not just how much the water is increasing, the height of the water is increasing. We have to look at how there are changes in the sediment that's flowing towards the island. So how much sediment is being provided by the surrounding reef, and really think of it like you're doing accounting. You have to look at how much is coming in minus how much is going out. So it's not just about how much erodes during a high tide because of sea level rise. It's also about how much is deposited. And one of the ironies of the damage that's happened as a result of the really high tides they had, particularly last year, is that those very waves that are damaging homes, damaging infrastructure, are actually depositing sediment. And so every time one of those events happens, the island is evolving a little bit. Right? And so absolutely, this place is existentially threatened by sea level rise. All these people's homes and livelihoods are definitely threatened, but it's more complicated than it might look from the outside.